I bought this poor man's Ferrari, or better known as the MR2, for $5,000. I bought it as a non-runner. The car didn't start. The previous owner did state that he believes it's the fuel pump that went bad. So after doing some diagnosis, checking the compression on the engine, I decided to purchase the vehicle and take it home. Come to find out, it is the fuel pump that was bad, but on these cars, you do actually have to drop the entire fuel tank to get to that fuel pump. So after about a weekend worth of work, I was able to get that fuel pump out, get the new one in, and start the car. However, after starting the car, we did hear this sound. You can see that this rod is toast, but it wasn't so bad that we destroyed the entire engine, or at least I don't think so. So that's what we're going to find out in this video. We're going to replace everything, and we're going to hopefully get it running and driving again. Okay, so the bearings came in, mains and rods. Oil pan needs to get cleaned out because there's still metally bits. And then we have to get the new gasket on. But before we get started on that, let's talk about why bearings are so important in engines. Bearings are super important in your car. It's what lets everything rotate freely. There's a thin film of oil that runs between whatever the part is and the bearing, and without it, it can overheat, and at some point it will just explode. And so it is incredibly important that we replace these now before that happens. I ended up enlisting the help of my cousin because free labor is always a great thing. So the first thing he's going to do is start to clean up that oil pan, and then I'm going to start pulling these rod caps off so we can get them replaced. So it looks like they sent us the wrong parts here, because that is not even close. So we'll return these and we'll get the other ones another time. As you can see, the main bearings fit perfectly fine. So let's get that upper bearing out and get all of these replaced. Now, getting the main bearings off is pretty easy. You just pull the main bearing cap off, this piece right here. So it's pretty easy to get to this bearing. But the upper bearing, which you can kind of see right here, is a lot harder to get to. So that's when you use a tool. That's when you use a tool like this. So what this is it very simply just goes into the oil passage, right? You're just gonna put this into that oil passage, and then you spin it over, and it'll push. It'll have to be spin it over the other way, and it'll push that upper bearing out. You put the new assembly lube on there, and you get the new one in. It's fairly simple. It's just a little bit time consuming. So we're going to pull the spark plugs on the top, and then we'll get to spinning this thing over. At least the plugs they used are all the same brand, and they look pretty good too. Now it's time to get these caps off so I can get the bearings replaced. Let's see how bad these ones are. Oh yeah, those look good. Alright, let's see how... Oh Jesus. Let's see how bad this one is. So obviously that's not going to look bad. That's not our problem. Our problem... Actually, this one looks really good. Just from what I can see here, I don't see any hot spots yet. So let's get it off. Be certain. Yeah, I probably should get one of my picks, but okay. You know, it's got a little bit right here. It's got a little bit of hot spots, a little bit of scratching, but it's not bad. Good we did it now. Yep. Alright, bearings are pretty easy to put in. You just put it in, push down, and it'll go in. Just like that. So slightly tighten each side down. until you start getting real tight like that. Back to the other side. And you just keep going back and forth like this until it sorts down to spec. Good. See how smooth that's spinning? All of the main bearings are out, and it is a good thing that we ended up replacing these, because you can see, so this will be cylinder 1, and then cylinders will be going that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So closest to cylinder 1 is definitely the worst, and cylinder 2 is also pretty bad. But once we get to cylinder 5, or well, cylinder 3, there's 5 bearings with cylinder 3. It actually looks almost perfect. Nothing wrong with it. Then we get to the 4th main bearing, looks pretty good, and the 5th has a bit of scratches. But again, it's just a good thing that we change these out while we're already here. While we wait for the rod bearings to show up, because they were the wrong ones, I just wanted to go over some of the cool stuff that came with the MR2. So this manual here actually came with the original shipping papers. Try not to show off too many addresses here, but when it first came in, some of the original import information. That's insurance stuff, so I can't really show that off. But what I can show off is this right here. So this looks like, to me, maybe an advertisement for the dealership that this car was at. Not 100% sure, but that is still pretty cool to see all the way from Japan. But finally, the coolest thing is the original owner's manual for this MR2 in Japanese. So you can kind of see they give you where information is, they tell you a little bit about the car. They have some silly illustrations of an automatic. Maybe it says not to do that. Telling you about your coolant, about a crash, keeping your engine happy. These are all really funny illustrations that I thought I should show off. Maybe that's in the snow, pulling the parking brake. I'm not really sure. But yeah, there's some cool things that came with this MR2. Some of the original radio work as well. So while the mains are already done, we're just going to be waiting for the rods. Once those show up, we'll get this thing finished up. We'll clean up the rest of that oil pan mating surface, and then that's really it. We'll get some oil in there, get some pressure, and then start her back up finally. Okay, it's been a few days, and I did get the bearings in, and I checked to make sure that they fit.
1 week later.
And they do fit. I already checked them. So these are the right ones this time. So we're gonna get all these installed today. Ignore all this other stuff, that's for a different video. But for now, we're gonna get started on these rod caps. Okay, new bearing for the rod is in. Just gonna hit it with some assembly lube. There we go. There we go. And now we just bring it back down onto the actual crank. There we are. Okay, bearing. Got some assembly lube on there. Let's get her on. Let's clean off a little bit of that little stuff. Okay. So after replacing that first rod bearing, I essentially just repeated the task 3 different times. I broke the 2 nuts, took the old cap off, put the new bearings on, put some assembly lube on them, torqued them down back to spec, and then spun the motor over just to make sure that's not binding or anything weird is happening. Basically, after repeating that 3 more times, I was getting ready to finally put the car back together and get it ready for first startup. So enjoy this little montage of me changing out these other 3 bearings. So I mean, you can definitely see cylinder 1 was our problem child, and honestly the other ones were starting to go out. I mean, you can look at this one, and I mean, you can pretty well see, get some better lighting here, this was definitely starting to go out. So it's good that these got replaced, but this was definitely our problem child, and this was the reason why we're getting so much noise. Okay, so oil pan is officially cleaned. All of the little bits are out of it. Just a little bit of brake clean left that I gotta get out. The oil pickup is on. And the mating surfaces are clean. So the very last thing to do is get that oil pan on, get the new gasket on, bolt everything back up, and then we can start this car. Throw in some oil, keep some oil pressure, and we'll get it started. All right, exhaust is on, oil pan's on, everything's torqued up properly. Add a little blue mark so I don't forget. All the brackets are back on, shield is back on for the transmission. So that's it. I have to go up top, I have to put the spark plugs back in, I have to redo the intake manifold, and once that's done, it's time to finally start this car. All right, let's get started. It's starting to rain pretty heavily, but let's get started and see how fast we can do this before it's time to go inside. So at this point, it's basically a race against time. It started to heavily rain, and I did not want to get soaked. Now, where I live, it's actually pretty hot all the time. I live in a desert, so it is pretty much hot all of the time. And when we get rain, it kind of comes and goes in heavy waves. So at this point, I'm panicking, trying to get this put back together. So enjoy watching me panically put this back together. Now with the engine mostly put together, I'm going to add some oil into this thing so that we can get oil pressure and get it started. Alright guys, I got it full of oil. Let's crank it over. First thing we're going to do actually is we're going to give it a few cranks, but just to get oil pressure. So I'm going to open up the fuse box here, and I'm going to pull out the fuel injection fuse, just like that. And I'm just gonna give it a few cranks real quick, just to get it some oil pressure. And then after that, we'll start it. All right, we're neutral. Let's give her a few cranks. All right, let's throw this fuse back in, and this will be it. Now obviously we're going to have quite a bunch of vacuum leaks here. Get that off. Now obviously we're going to have a bunch of vacuum leaks because I mean I don't even have any of the piping on, or all these lines are still disconnected. But again, it's just to get it started. No point in putting this whole thing back together if it doesn't even work. Here we go. Okay, so I saw that oil light right there. So I didn't want to keep going on it, so we'll try it one more time. Oil light's gone. She's running well. That's good. Let's turn it off. All right, we're just gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna go hook everything back up, and then we're gonna get off jack stands and actually let it warm up to temp, take for a drive. Alrighty, last thing to do is start it up again. All the intake tubing is back on, all the lines are back on. Everything looks good. Last thing to do is we're gonna check for leaks as well, and then I'm pull everything from the bottom, get this thing off jack stands, and we're finally gonna take it. We're finally gonna take it for a drive after it sat here for 2 weeks. All right, start it up again. Time to go for an actual drive. Oh, sounds great. All right, guys, driving her now, and the knocking sound is gone. I'm sure you can see there is that check engine light there. We'll diagnose that in another video. I'm sure I left something unplugged or something along those lines, but I can rev her all the way out, and not a single noise happens. No more knocking. This is great. Now, this thing is by no means fast. I'd probably even classify it as slow, but it is so much fun. It drives so well. The steering feels so good, and that's really what you buy these cars for at the end of the day. All right, guys, so she drives great. The knocking noise is gone, everything's gone. There's still that check engine light over there in the corner. Now, of course, that's gonna be a problem, but I'm sure it's just something I left unplugged. But other than that, the noise is finally gone. So the question really ends up being, what's next for this car? Do I sell it and give it to somebody else, or do I keep modifying it and adding more stuff? Obviously, the big thing would be this dash needs to get replaced. This is pretty bad now. I know a lot of people who can redo this dash, but that's still gonna be pulling the entire dash out. Is that something we wanna do, or make it somebody else's project car? I'm not sure just yet, but let me know in the comments what you think we should do. If I should keep it, I'll keep it and keep working on it. And if you think I should sell it, I'll sell it and get another project car.